Okay, here we go. Manual mode in the sport mode. Oh yeah, we're beating this big old truck. Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video we're going to go over a 2020 Volkswagen Tiguan in the SEL premium package with the R-Line package as well. First and foremost, a huge shout out and thank you to Southtown Volkswagen for providing us with the Tiguan. Check out their inventory in the link below. Let's just get right into the video. Now, under the hood of the Tiguan, we have a turbocharged 2-liter 4-cylinder that goes through an 8-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy is 20 around town and then 27 on the highway, with power outputs being 184 horsepower and then 221 pound-feet of torque. Now let's go over the front end on the Tiguan. I actually really like the two little lines there on the hood, so you guys can see those body lines. Definitely breaks things up from the overall flat surface of the hood. And then I do have the LED daytime running lights on, so you guys can see what those look like with the Tiguan. Definitely a distinctive look. You pretty much know that it's Volkswagen just from the lights themselves. And then you have the little R-Line badge. You got the Volkswagen logo there at the front. Fog lights are down there at the bottom, and then you do get parking sensors on the front of the SEL package. And then other than that, that is everything for the front end. Super distinctive, like Volkswagen look. Kind of just looks like a Jetta, just like increased in size. Around the side here, we've got 20-inch wheels, and then wrapped around those are two 55mm tires in the front and in the rear as well. And then in terms of the design on the wheels themselves, I actually really like it. So it kind of has this like weird open spoke design, and again, whenever I think of wheels like this, I automatically think of Volkswagen. So it's cool they go for like that distinctive styling that instantly reminds me of the brand. And then zooming out, you guys can see that we've got the R-Line badge there on the side. You do have some nice chrome trim that goes along the side as well. And they have the really nice body line that continues all along the side of the Tiguan, but there is your full side view. Here's the key fob for the Tiguan. Pretty simple. You've got the Volkswagen logo there on the back, and then you guys can see you've got the lock at the top, you've got the release for the hatch, remote start, and then the unlock at the bottom. Remote start's pretty simple. All you have to do is just press that function twice and it'll start right up. Might be a little bit difficult to hear because it is pretty windy outside today, but you guys will get an exhaust clip later, and that's the remote start. Ooh, wait for it, and voila. So obviously we got a power lift tailgate, and coming here to the back, it's actually pretty interesting. The storage space, first and foremost, is really good back here. I mean, you guys can see just how much storage space is back here, so I'm like, that's super solid. The other cool thing is you actually can lower down the seats. So you just pull this little tab right here, and that'll lower down the second row. Nice little feature. The observant viewer will notice there's a seat belt back here, and there's cup holders, and you're like, why is that there? This actually does have third row seating. I'll pop that up once we get to the front portion of the vehicle, but you do get third row seating, and you can see all the stuff that comes back here, and got a little storage space there on the side, but that is everything for the back. I'm gonna pop down the hatch, just press this little button right there, and then it'll lower it back down. And then let's go over the design here in the rear on the Tiguan. So you guys will notice the crossbars there at the top, and then I actually really like the lights. Again, this is super distinctive Volkswagen lighting here in the back. Like instantly I know it's a Volkswagen just from the lights, which I think look pretty neat. You get the 4Motion badge so that you know that this does have the 4-wheel drive. You can see little exhaust outlets there at the bottom, but that's everything for the back. Now coming to the rear here, let's look at the door panel here in the back. So you guys notice that you get a bunch of soft touch right here in this part of the door panel, and they kind of do this cool little like swooping design with the lines. And then remember, this seat is down. All you have to do is just pick it up like that, and that pops the seat right up. Super easy to do. But you get these leather seats here in the back on this SEL premium package, and then notice you get the piping on the seat as well. And then there's these little cup holders that do pop out right there in the center. Got a couple vents right there. Got a little USB port, and then a 12-volt. Now before we go to the third row, or at least show you the third row, let's pop in. So step in height, really easy to get in. I'm 5'11", you guys can see I've got a good amount of legroom. If you're wondering on headroom, that's also solid as well, so everything's good back here. Now here at the top, you do have a little latch, but this is actually what folds the seat down flat here for the second row. And then you guys can see the third row. Material-wise, it's identical in appearance and all that to the second row. Legroom is gonna be a little bit cramped with the third row, but you could use this in a pinch if you do need to throw people back there, or just leave it flat and you've got some extra storage. And they even give you little mats to put on top of it so you don't damage the back of the seat. Now coming up to the front, you do get keyless entry, and the mirrors are power folding. Wait for it. they kind of like elegantly pop right out. So looking at the front right here, you guys notice that you get this really nice high gloss trim here at the top, and then coming down here you get that same design that you get in the second row with kind of like the weird pointing arrow lines. And then there's all your controls for the windows and the mirrors. And then here's the seats here at the front. So notice that material wise looks super similar to the back seats. You got all the piping and everything. The bolster's just a little bit more aggressive with the seats themselves. There's the memory function on them. Here's what the adjustments look like on the side. The pedals look really nice. I actually really like it when car manufacturers spend some money on the pedals, because it's an important part of the car in my opinion. Obviously you got your little light control right there. There's the back of the steering wheel, and well, let's pop in. The stop start button's actually down here, but press that and everything will come to life. Now here's the steering wheel in the Tiguan. You guys will notice that you've got the really smooth leather all around, and they kind of do like a flat-ish bottom. That's why I say ish, because it's not fully flat. Really nice like silver stitching. That's the best way for me to describe it. It's kind of got like a silver hue. It's not quite white. And then you got your controls like the voice command controls right here. And then over here, notice that you do have the controls for the adaptive cruise control system, which is definitely a nice little function to have. I use that all the time in my vehicle. And then over here, you've got your little stock for the windshield wipers. And then on the other side, you got the stock for the turn signals. Remember, the light thing is just right there on the side, and that's the steering wheel area. Just a gauge cost, you guys will notice that it's mostly a digital screen, and you've got the RPMs on the left side. On the right side, you've got the speed. And then in terms of like different stuff you can scroll through, the center, there's a bunch of different menus you can go through. So like right now you've got the assist systems, and I can kind of go over to a couple different menus, so I can make it be another little speedo, but a digital readout instead. You can even do your phone. You can do the audio, even the navigation, obviously, which is pretty nice. But yeah, you've got a bunch of different things you can kind of scroll through on the center stack. I just think it looks clean and modern. So here's the infotainment system. First off, I'm going to pop it into reverse. You guys can see what the backup camera looks like. Got little trajectory lines that'll turn with the steering wheel. Pretty neat little feature right there. Now, I really like this infotainment system. Response time on it's like instantaneous. I mean, everything that you press, it just instantly pulls it up for you, which is definitely really nice. You can even change little things right here with the off-road status, which is pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, you can see everything that I'm pressing is just boom, instantaneous. I really like that. So the layout of it's perfect, the shortcuts are perfect, and it's just a good infotainment system. Down below the infotainment system, you do have the controls for the climate system here in the Tiguan. You do get a dual zone climate, and you do get heated seats and a heated steering wheel up for the front. And then just over here, you guys will notice that you got a little area where you've got a couple USBs and an auxiliary, and you actually even get wireless charging in that whole area. So just in front of the shifter. And then you guys remember kind of like the auto stop start button. Here is the shifter for that 8-speed automatic, and yes, it does have a manual shift mode. You just got to stick it over there if you do want to shift the gears yourself. Pretty straightforward on that. You got your parking brake right here. If you want to turn the auto stop start off, they got a function for that. Your parking sensors to turn them on or off as well. So looking at this dial, you're like, oh, there's 4 drive modes. There's snow, there is your normal mode, there's your off-road, and then that's the off-road custom mode. But you'd be wrong. So first off, if we pop it over to the snow mode, you're like, okay, cool. Pop it over to the normal mode, you're like, okay, cool. Off-road, and you're like, off-road custom, that's all pretty neat. But you go back to the normal mode and you're like, wait a second, there's more drive modes. You've got the eco, you've got the sport, and you've got the custom. And by the way, if you just press into the little dial, then it just goes through these modes that way. So there's a lot more drive modes than this little dial suggests. Here's kind of like a full look at the center console area. You do have a couple cup holders right here. And then here's the actual center console, which opening it up, see there's got a decent amount of storage right there, and then you have a little thread through for a cable. Coming over to the glove box, pretty vertical glove box, but see the glove box is actually pretty massive. Good amount of storage space in there as well, and you can even insert a disc in there, and they do more of that high gloss trim just up above it. Up top here we have the controls for the panoramic sunroof, and I'm not going to open it up fully because it is blisteringly hot today, but you guys can see you get a full panoramic sunroof. You can do just the shade, or you can do the full roof with that little control right there. Pretty straightforward. And then it is a full black headliner, which matches the bottom of the car, so good job. Oh man, we've got a window sticker today, so you don't have to look at my ugly face as much in this video, which is a big plus for you guys. So you can see the standard equipment here, and I'm just going to kind of go over each of these so you guys can freeze the frame if you would like to read all of the stuff that this comes with as standard equipment, and then also the warranty information as well. It comes with the new car. It's pretty good. That's a really good warranty, actually, by the way. You can see the base price before options. Now, this does have a couple options like that third row, for example, and then auto dimming rearview mirror, which I think is pretty awesome. And then this also comes with prepaid maintenance, which, I mean, that's actually really cheap. For 30,000 miles worth of maintenance, that's actually really good, so that's definitely an option I'd get. And you can finally see the total price there, so $41,964 for any type of market adjustment. Let's take this Tiguan out and see how it drives. Let's talk about visibility here in the Tiguan before we set off. So visibility over the hood, it slopes down really abruptly, so it's really easy to see out from there. And then here's your visibility through both of the mirrors. And then here's all throughout the rear, which again, visibility in general is really solid. It's got a bunch of very large windows, and that all being said, let's set off. Well, we are setting off here on the Tiguan, and sorry if I like abruptly stopped talking. That probably means I got lost because I'm not used to driving in this area where the Volkswagen dealership is. So we gotta figure something out here. But initially setting off, this is really smooth. I'm really impressed with this, and I kind of expected this to definitely feel more like luxury-esque on the driving part of it, because Volkswagen and Audi share so much, and so Volkswagen gets to steal a bunch of luxury stuff, and obviously they get to have it at a really reasonable price, which is one of the reasons why I love Volkswagen. I love it when manufacturers have a luxury brand that they can kind of take stuff from, because I think it just is really, it makes the brand itself, that's non-luxury, just so much better. But yeah, initially driving super smooth. I mean, this road, I don't know if the other camera's capturing it, but like this road has tons of holes on it. Like, it is so bad. And this thing is just driving so smooth over it, just absolutely perfect so far. And yeah, that's with the ride quality. If you guys are wanting road noise, when you see these cars here, this road's about a 45, 50 mile an hour road roughly. And I mean, these cars are just driving by it and you don't really hear all that much happening. So from a noise insulation standpoint as well, super solid. And let's get our little acceleration here. Ooh. So that was in the normal mode, and of course we hit into a red light, so we can see the brakes too, all in one clip. That was in the normal mode, and I mean, it did take a second. Obviously you guys will have this happen instantaneously for you, but once this light goes to green, we'll get another little acceleration basically. And I just want to see if it's different in the sport mode and the manual mode. Okay, here we go. Manual mode in the sport mode. Oh yeah, we're beating this big old truck. Yeah, that's like a night and day difference. Seriously, like, that's crazy. It's just, the fact is, just being able to put it in the gear that I want it to be in to get a little bit more power out of it just completely changed that. So yeah, in the sport mode compared to like the normal mode, in terms of the acceleration, like literally night and day difference. That is crazy. Now taking a turn here, the steering's super light. In terms of the directness on it, there's a little bit of play, but not a whole lot. It's actually pretty good in general. And so the steering, I would say, yeah, it's solid. And you can see kind of like going around this little part. Let's see what the handling is like as well. Yeah, handling's really solid too. And we'll take another turn here to kind of see what the body roll is like and everything. It does really good. I'm really impressed with this actually. This drives really nice. It definitely has that luxury feel, but it also kind of has this like, it feels like small and zippy. I wasn't expecting that. I was kind of expecting this to feel a little bit more cumbersome than it does. So I'm really impressed with that overall. And let's actually get into summing things up. So what I would say with the Tiguan as a whole package is, if you're looking for a very comfortable SUV that you could drive on a daily basis, obviously if you want the third row practicality, get the third row option with this as well. But something that kind of has like luxury car underpinnings in a way, then that's where I think the Tiguan really shines, because just the fact that it can borrow stuff from Audi, I can definitely tell that they've just taken some nice little stuff to make the car just feel nicer overall. And yeah, I would definitely say this is worth a look. It's basically like you're getting an Audi, but like at a fraction of the cost, which is just awesome. There we have it, everyone. The 2020 Volkswagen Tiguan in the SEL premium package with the R-Line package. Again, a huge shout out and thank you to Southtown Volkswagen for providing us with the Tiguan. Check out their inventory in the link below. I will see all of you in that next video.